Hello, I'm Dan Rather. Welcome to the CBS Evening News Online Edition. Just ahead, how are they doing? We'll give you the inside story on how residents of hurricane-ravaged Florida are still fighting to cope. Also, one state may rewrite the electoral vote rules. We examine how that might change the way America elects a president. And the simple shot that some claim dissolves fat. You won't hear about it anywhere else, but don't sign up for one till you see our report. It's all starting now on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. Another powerful force of nature is still having a major impact on Florida. 4 major hurricanes this season killed 75 people there. Property damage was widespread, but there remains an unseen toll as well. CBS's Lee Cowan gives you the inside story.
The cameras are gone, the politicians have stopped visiting, the shelters are closed. But for Florida residents like Ellis Coleman, every day since is just like the eye of a hurricane.
Just seems so hopeless.
A self-described tough guy, a former Air Force Special Operations officer. Mr. Coleman is like so many victims here, wondering what's to become of him after his last memory is shoveled into a wheelbarrow.
We were just so content, happy, had it made.
This year's brutal hurricane season has damaged 1 out of every 5 homes in Florida. At least $22 billion in damage. Cleanup is no longer precise, it's crude and quick.
You know, it's not much. It's certainly not expensive. But it was my little world.
It's a world that's being battered by a mental tempest, too. One that could be just as destructive as the storms themselves, and health experts fear maybe just as fatal.
They get tired, they drink more, they may take their pills, they may actually physically hurt themselves because it's easier to check out than it is to keep trying.
And it's not just adults.
How many of you lay in bed at night and you think about, what are you going to do now?
At Warrington Elementary School,
we didn't have anything to eat.
Classes finally resumed after 3 weeks. But show and tell these days is different.
All of our shingles are off and our walls are starting to cave in.
Lawyers have set up free legal hotlines. This one jammed up the day it opened. Most callers simply unsure who to trust.
We've got stuff going on in this community, adjusters that have been trained for 3 weeks that don't really know what they're doing.
Ellis Coleman worries he's beyond help now.
I won't be happy and peaceful again, I don't think.
If home is where the heart is, both here are still bruised and broken. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Grand Lagoon, Florida.
Palm Beach County, Florida is trying to avoid another Election Day debacle, but it's run into some trouble testing the new electronic voting machines, about which many people are suspicious and nervous. A test had to be postponed this week because a computer server crashed. There's some concern the presidential election could again wind up in the courts, not because of Florida. No, as CBS's Jim Acosta reports, this time it's Colorado.
Both presidential campaigns are bracing for some Rocky Mountain high drama if voters here pass a little-known referendum on their state ballot. No hanging chads at issue here, but the national election could hang in the balance.
If this had been in place in 2000, what would have been the result?
If Colorado had had this in 2000, Al Gore would have been president of the United States.
Democratic operative Rick Ritter is behind the referendum for a split electoral vote system in Colorado. If passed, Colorado's 9 electoral votes would be divided proportionally. So if the president wins the state by a thin margin, Mr. Bush would only pick up 5, while John Kerry would claim a 4-vote consolation prize. So why should the rest of the country worry about what happens in Colorado? Here's why. If the measure passes, it is supposed to take effect right away, and that just might have a direct impact on the outcome of the election.
I've come back to ask for your vote.
The initiative is a threat to the president, who's battling to hold on to a state he won in 2000.
Well, obviously, I'd like to win all of Colorado's electoral votes. But
it could also hurt Kerry, who could pull off an upset here.
The bottom line is it hurts whoever wins Colorado.
Republican strategist Katie Atkinson is fighting the measure.
Instead of Florida, it could be Colorado.
It could be. Not duh, but dough.
If the race comes down to Colorado, legal challenges could go all the way to the Supreme Court.
If they don't take the case, they're going to be criticized because someone is going to say, hey, wait a minute. Why'd you take the case in 2000 if you're not going to take the case in 2004?
It could be a November surprise for the country, one that may send the candidates back to the place where some say Mr. Bush won the presidency the last time. Jim Acosta, CBS News, Denver.
CBS's final story tonight is about a possible, mark the word please, possible solution to the fat problem. Injections touted to melt away fat and make you look fit. Do they work, and are they safe? CBS News contributing correspondent and medical doctor Malika Marshall looked beyond skin deep for answers.
Actress Amy Evans says she's not suffering.
This is really nothing.
To be beautiful.
Where the saddlebags were, it's completely gone.
It's called mesotherapy, a cocktail of drugs, plant extracts, and vitamins injected directly into the meso or middle layer of skin, where in theory it dissolves fat.
Each site we're delivering one drop of medication.
Dr. Lionel Bassoon says the procedure is highly effective because the treatment targets the problem areas directly, and he believes it's much safer than cosmetic surgery.
The biggest side effect is black and blue marks.
Dr. Bassoon began practicing mesotherapy in France 5 years ago, where it's been in use for over half a century. When he started, there were only 2 mesotherapists in the U.S. Now he says there are over 500. Critics like Dr. Leroy Young say fat chance that it really is effective.
I don't think it qualifies as medicine. This is more snake oil than medicine.
But Jocelyn Herman Sacchio swears by the treatment. After hormone therapy, she gained weight around her face.
Oh, God, look how horrible that looks from the side.
So she signed on to reduce fat around her jawline.
And I saw a huge difference within 3 days. I couldn't believe the difference when I would look in the mirror.
Does it really work? To date, no scientific study has been conducted, which Young says is part of the problem.
If this is so good, why doesn't someone do a study and prove its efficacy?
These studies will be done. These studies are being worked on right now.
Bassoon says that within 5 years, almost every physician in America will be doing some form of mesotherapy. Perhaps by then, we might even know if it really works. Dr. Malika Marshall, CBS News, New York.
More stories are just a click away. But don't forget to join me on television for the on-air edition of the CBS Evening News. On Thursday's broadcast, a post-debate wrap-up. We'll take a detailed look at how the candidates did in their last face-off before Election Day. For CBSNews.com, I'm Dan Rather.